Weird American laws.
Imagine this ridiculously tall and absurd scene on a busy Atlanta street in the middle of the day. The sun is shining, cars are honking, and right there on the sidewalk stands a massive, long-necked giraffe tied with a rope to a telephone pole. The giraffe is calmly chewing leaves from the top of a nearby tree while its owner checks his phone like it's the most normal thing in the world. Suddenly, a police officer pulls up, gets out of the car, looks up, way up, and shouts, "Sir, you cannot tie your giraffe to a telephone pole. It's against the law." The owner looks confused and points at the giraffe, but he needs to stretch his neck and eat the good leaves up there. The officer shakes his head. Doesn't matter how tall he is, in Atlanta, Georgia, it is illegal to tie any giraffe to a telephone pole, parking meter, or street sign. The giraffe blinks slowly, its head towering above the traffic lights, while the rope stays firmly knotted around the pole. The owner shrugs. He's just a little tall. Yes, this is a real, wonderfully absurd law from Atlanta, Georgia. It is illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole or any public utility pole. Stick around. We're stretching our necks into one of the tallest and silliest animal laws in the South. Why would Atlanta feel the need to ban giraffe tying? Who came up with this rule? Is it still on the books? And what kind of chaotic comedy happens when someone tries to park their giraffe downtown? By the end of this video, you'll never look at a telephone pole the same way again. Welcome to
Subscribe and drop a like.
LawTunes USA, the channel that fearlessly drags America's strangest, dumbest, and tallest weird laws into the spotlight with bright cartoons, savage satire, and non-stop laughs. Today's episode is pure long-necked comedy. Can't tie a giraffe to a telephone pole. Atlanta, Georgia's tallest weird law explained. This law is a classic example of hyperspecific Southern legislation. Back when circuses and traveling zoos were common, people would sometimes tie their exotic animals to whatever was handy while they ran errands. Giraffes, being extremely tall, had a habit of reaching up and damaging overhead wires, knocking down poles, or causing traffic chaos with their long necks. So, Atlanta lawmakers did what any sensible city would do. They passed a very specific ordinance. No person shall tie or tether a giraffe or any other animal over a certain height to a telephone pole, light pole, or parking meter. The wording is delightfully precise. In Atlanta, Georgia, it is unlawful to tie or tether a giraffe to any utility pole, street sign, or public fixture. No exceptions for he's just resting his neck, no loopholes for it's only for 5 minutes, just a hard no on giraffe parking. Let's animate the glorious chaos. A bustling Atlanta street, a tall giraffe is calmly tied to a telephone pole, its head way up in the air munching leaves. Cars swerve to avoid the long neck. The owner stands there casually scrolling on his phone. Suddenly, a police officer arrives, looks way up at the giraffe, and shouts, "Untie that giraffe right now. You can't tie giraffes to telephone poles in Atlanta." Cut to the courtroom from Maximum Satire. The giraffe's head is poking through an open window because it's too tall to fit inside. The judge slams the gavel. "You have been charged with illegally tethering a giraffe to a telephone pole. How do you plead?" The owner shrugs. "Not guilty, Your Honor. He needed a snack." The prosecutor points dramatically upward. "Your Honor, this animal caused a 3-car pileup and nearly short-circuited the entire block." The defense lawyer pleads, "Objection. My client's giraffe has a medical condition, neck cramps." The judge sighs the sigh of a man tired of giraffe-related crimes. "Guilty, fined $250, and your giraffe is banned from all utility
Subscribe and drop a like.
poles in the city." Next case. The what-if scenarios are comedy gold. A tourist trying to take a selfie with a rented giraffe tied to a parking meter gets immediately stopped. An influencer filming day in the life of my pet giraffe in downtown Atlanta gets the video shut down. Content terminated for illegal tethering. A circus performer parking his giraffe while grabbing coffee gets a ticket and a lecture about proper animal parking. A kid at the zoo asking, "Can we tie the giraffe outside?" gets a very serious no from the zookeeper. Even if this law is rarely enforced today, it perfectly captures Atlanta's mix of big city practicality and small town quirkiness. If something tall and exotic keeps causing problems, you make a law about it. Bonus ridiculously tall and weird Georgia laws. Can't tie a giraffe to a telephone pole in Atlanta. No singing the alphabet on the street after dark in Topeka. Horses can't eat hydrants in Marshalltown, Iowa. No wearing cowboy boots unless you own 2 cows in Blythe. Atlanta doesn't just have traffic laws, it has giraffe parking regulations. So here's the final verdict, delivered with a long stretch of sarcasm. Is it illegal to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole in Atlanta, Georgia? Technically, yes. The old ordinance is still somewhere in the city code. Practically, you probably won't get arrested for a quick neck stretch. But why risk a $250 fine and becoming the next Lawtunes star with a giraffe-shaped traffic jam? Next time you're in Atlanta and feel the urge to tie up your giraffe, just use a proper hitching post. Or better yet, leave the giraffe at home. If this long-necked, pole-tying, giraffe-related madness made you laugh, made you want to see a giraffe in traffic, or made you appreciate how wonderfully weird local laws can get, smash that like button. Right now, subscribe to Lawtunes USA and hit the bell for daily animated weird law stories. Comment below. What's the tallest or strangest animal law you've ever heard? I read every single comment. Until next time, stay curious, stay legal, and whatever you do, don't tie your giraffe to a telephone pole in Atlanta, Georgia. See you in the next one.